Tonight, the Atlanta Hawks hope to win and keep from losing back-to-back because right now it has been tough for the Atlanta Hawks. They fell to the Timberwolves last night, 100-92, and this was a game where the Atlanta Hawks were riddled with injuries. A lot of key players and reserve players were definitely out of the lineup, but somebody definitely stepped up for the Atlanta Hawks and definitely made it a game for the Atlanta Hawks for last night. So we're going to get into all of that. Welcome, everybody. My name is Walter Pollard, and welcome to Hawks Digest. I'm excited to talk to you guys, man. I've been missing y'all. And we got to get into it because the Atlanta Hawks right now definitely feeling the fire right now. I think we're on a 4-game losing skid. We just went up to Minnesota, took an L to the Minnesota Timberwolves, which we knew was going to happen. We knew that this was something that was going to take place. But I do feel as though the Atlanta Hawks definitely competed and made it more of a game than what most of us expected. We're not going to talk to, but we're going to listen to what Coach Quin Snyder had to say about the outing, how he felt about the players and what they did for last night, and as well as how this one particular player did for the Atlanta Hawks. But before I go any further, you know I like to do this all the time. Definitely, guys, you want to make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Send this to as many Hawks fans as you possibly can. Listen, this is a channel for everybody, so definitely do so. A lot of you guys that have been watching the videos and watching our content, man, I'm telling you, it's been going up, and we love it. We are at a lot of different subscribers. We want to keep those numbers going up, but we also want to make sure that a lot of you that are watching the content, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And definitely we want to see if we can get this page going up as much as possible. Now, we got to go ahead and get into the game review last night because, you know, again, last night was a tough game. Anthony Edwards started out with, 23 points. Yeah, he had 23 points, and Julius Randle added another 20 points. Listen, it was looking like it could have been tough for the Atlanta Hawks, be that the fact that you see here who we had to start: Keaton Wallace, V. Krejci, Dyson Daniels. I think that was is that David Roddy? Yeah, David Roddy and Onyeka Okongwu. So that should tell you how bizarre the game was last night. Shouts out to 92.9 the game, Mike Conti, Steve Holman, Dominique Wilkins, all of those guys for doing a good job online, just having that game available. You know, I was able to listen in and hear what was going on, and they do it very well. They do it in an in-depth way, I guess I could put it. It was definitely dope. But they explained how before the game had even started, Dyson Daniels was listed to supposedly be playing in the game, and then all of a sudden he comes out in his civilians. I think also Bogdan Bogdanović was also expected to play last night, and he came out in his civvies as well. So definitely bizarre to see how that played out. But as you can see, these were the starters that the Atlanta Hawks had to work with. Again, good to see Zaccharie Risacher back in the lineup. And back, just back with the team, definitely coming back from his adductor, I want to say injury or you know, something that sidelined him. So definitely good to see him. Keaton Wallace, that was a name that I forgot yesterday, but yeah, Keaton Wallace has definitely stepped up for the Atlanta Hawks. I think he was on a double-double. Muhammad Gay had actually came up from the Skyhawks, and he had actually came up and stuck with the Hawks. But take a listen to what Coach Quin Snyder just basically said about the effort of the team and how they was able to basically step up for, you know, just play versus the Timberwolves.
Yeah, I thought we had obviously a rocky start, and just, you know, we knew we were going to compete. That's who our guys are. And I think as the game went on, we played better defensively and kind of found some stuff in transition. And then, gosh, we had some really good looks that if they go in, maybe there's a different outcome. But you certainly can't fault the effort. And, you know, again, I thought we weren't perfect, but for the most part, when we did the things that we know we want to do, we had some success.
So we can definitely hear in Quin Snyder's just talk that he understood the validity of the moment. he knew that he was going into a game where majority of the guys that make up the team. Trae Young was out. Jalen Johnson is still out. Larry Nance was re-injured, or they had to kind of do something to make sure that he didn't re-injure his hand, because I think he actually re-injured his hand, somehow slapped the backboard. You know, you get aggressive dunking and slap the backboard. So Larry Nance was out. Then getting to the game, we found out Dyson Daniels is not in, and Bogdan Bogdanović was not in. So, of course, we knew what we were working with, but shouts out to Zaccharie Risacher. I think he accounted for 11 points. I think 13 points went to let me look in real quick. Yeah, Keaton Wallace, he actually showed up with 13 points, but the stat that I wanted to show everybody or get everybody involved really was not that guy. But DeAndre Hunter with 35 points, which was actually a career high for him. I think in some of the reports I was reading, they were just saying a season high, but it was a career high. So major shouts out to DeAndre Hunter. Again, he was the one that stepped up and just showed himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was
works to Hunter.
He was quite aggressive.
Grabs it, drives it, flushes it with 3.3. Works to Hunter. Grabs it, drives it, flushes it with 3.3. Big night cooking, gets to Hunter. Grabs it, drives it, flushes it with 3.3. Veet. Works to Hunter. Hunt. Big night cooking, gets flushes it with 3.3.
Find his number and let him go.
Veet grabs it, drives it, flushes it with 3.3. Cooking, gets 2 more. To Hunter.
Light him up, Hunt.
Grabs it, drives it, flushes it with 3.3. Hands it over to Hunter. Hunt to Hunter. Big night cooking, gets 2 more. Drives it, flushes it with 3.3.
Find his number and let him go.
Works to Hunter. Hands it over to Hunter. Grabs it, drives it, flushes it with 3.3. more.
Light him up, Hunt.
To Hunter.
Find his number and let him go.
Drives it, flushes.
And he spaced. And then he thought, you know, when they did close out on him, didn't have his three, he was able to get in the lane, you know, and he can rise up with those, you know, short mid-range twos. And then he went to the rim. He did all those different things. I thought his reads were really good. And you know, tonight was a night, obviously, with a few other guys unable to play. That, you know, the team needed that, and you know, and he took that on his shoulders.
Now, it wasn't a overly. Neither team shot well. Let's just put it like that. Neither team shot well, and I'll go back to the stat line and see if you guys can, you know, if you watch it well, you know, neither team shot over 40% from the three-point line, I think from the field as well. So it wasn't as if the Atlanta Hawks weren't able to stay in the game. Again, it was a good, valiant effort. Actually, in the third quarter, the Atlanta Hawks made a run. They made a push for the lead in the game, and they actually brought it as close to within 6 points. I think at that point, DeAndre Hunter missed a dunk that was going to be on Rudy Gobert, so that would have been even cool to kind of raise the morale of the team, because, again, we are struggling right now. The injury bug has been biting us in the So, of course, DeAndre Hunter was definitely Johnny on the spot in that case. Bringing it within as close as 6 points, but again, taking on the Timberwolves, those guys, they were loaded. You know what I mean? They have all the guys that they went into that game, and of course, they're coming off of a signature win. You dig what I'm saying? And they just put up 133 on the Denver Nuggets, so that was a major win for those guys. And then to come off of that, they were ready, and they're starting to piece things together. The Atlanta Hawks fall to 22 and 24 on the season so far. So 2 games under 500. I want to say we're definitely in the play-in realm of things right now if the season were to end today. But let's not forget the trade deadline is vastly approaching, as well as the All-Star break, which does mark somewhat as the halfway point of the season. So we definitely look forward to that. Hopefully the Atlanta Hawks can definitely get some rest and recuperation in that regard. Let me see where I'm at real quick. So, of course, the next game that's going to be up is going to be the Houston Rockets. Now, this is a makeup game for the snowy and, you know, wintry mix that the Southeast got down here. And, I mean, we took a pounding, okay? No matter what you guys say about the South, we're not built for that, okay? And we definitely got our tails whooped. But this is going to be a makeup game. It's rescheduled from January 11th. We were supposed to play that time, but It's back at home in State Farm. I do expect for Trae Young to play. That is what I was hearing from my sources, Steve Holman and all of those guys at 92.9, the Hawks broadcast. I did hear that they were saying, hey, Trae Young should be available for tonight's game. Maybe Dyson Daniels does return back. Hopefully we can get a couple of the guys back to stop the bleeding. Because, again, we are hurting right now. The Houston Rockets 31-14 right now. They are number 2 in the Western Conference. They're trying to keep their, 4-game win streak. They really want, 3-game win streak. So Houston definitely want to keep their 3-game win streak. And this guy right here is a freaking menace. I definitely like the hands of the NBA, like where the NBA is going to. The younger talent that's starting to come up. Of course, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is up for the MVP award. This young guy is definitely leading the Rockets to a very strong performance. So, again, definitely excited to see where the league is going. And I definitely like to see where the Hawks are going. So it starts with tonight. Again, DeAndre Hunter is coming off of a career night, 35 points off the bench. So that's amazing, first of all. But we definitely want to make sure that the Hawks can be ready for tonight. Hopefully we do have some guys returning. I'm not going to put my stamp on it just yet until I hear that they are in the lineup, because it's been a couple of times this season where I've been reading reports, I've been looking up things, and it's been saying that, Trae Young's not in the lineup, or whatever player's not in the lineup, and then all of a sudden they're playing. Or they've, listed them as available, or they're day-to-day and there's a possibility, and then they don't. So I'm not going to necessarily jump out there just yet, but hopefully the Atlanta Hawks can definitely get themselves in the best position and hopefully dig themselves out of this hole. We still have a lot of basketball left to play. The season hasn't ended yet, but we definitely want to get started, and it starts today. My name is Walter Pollard. This is Atlanta Hawks Digest, and I am signing out. Peace.